Up here I'm safe from either side. It was when we got to the age of where I would say me and my sisters, when we were 8, 9, 10 years old, around that time, we were not in the house. So I had no parents. I loved roaming the neighborhood and going through the woods and stuff. There was a lot of lessons to learn of being by yourself outside. I like painting. I like scratch boards was my favorite. One day I came home, all the stuff was already picked up by the trash man. I wasn't depressed because when the art thing died, the music thing began. Nobody wanted to be the rhythm guitar player. And I was like, I could be the rhythm guitar player. Like the next day, I get up in the morning, I've had this feeling in my stomach like I did something wrong. And this song's playing in my head, of course. And the angel said, or you can do it for God.
Thank you for hosting us. We're glad to be here. This is Jason. He is the lead singer, songwriter, main guy in the Blueprints, which is the band that I'm in. You mentioned that you were born in Daytona, but grew up in Georgia. So
I always tell people I'm from Atlanta, and so people hearing that, they're surprised to find out that I was born in Daytona, Florida.
Okay.
But I don't count that because I was a baby. I was 6 months when my parents moved to Atlanta.
How long did you live in Atlanta?
Up until 4 years ago.
So most of your life.
Yes.
In the city, or outskirts,
it's
or
south of about 10 minutes south of the airport. So just outside the city, Clayton County.
Did you like Atlanta growing up there?
Yeah, I knew nothing else.
Yeah.
Since moving from there, I realized some of the pros and cons that I didn't realize. I just thought it was just the way it is, but it's different in Orlando and of course everywhere else. It was like a tough neighborhood type thing. My father was a flatbed truck driver, local driver.
His whole life?
Yeah, he did little construction and was the guy driving the trucks to the construction sites till he retired.
Okay.
And my mom stayed home with me and my 2 sisters.
Did you find that to be an advantage to have a stay-at-home mom?
It was good. My dad was always working. If he was coming home early, I was excited, unless I did something wrong that day.
Yeah.
Then I was terrified that my dad's going to talk to me. It was when we got to the age of where I would say me and my sisters, when we were 8, 9, 10 years old, around that time, we were not in the house. So I had no parents. It was you stay outside. And I loved it. I loved roaming the neighborhood and going through the woods and stuff.
So you were very near with the woods and able to go out and do that kind of thing?
Yes, outside the city enough to where there's still woods around.
Do you find that benefited you? Would it have been different if you were raised indoors?
It would have been worse.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have learned the lessons, the life lessons I could still tell you about, like falling out of a tree, learning that I'm not a squirrel and jumping from one tree to the other is a bad idea. There was a lot of lessons to learn of being by yourself outside, just right around the corner in the backyard. I feel for the children, and I know, I have some friends with young kids, and they tell me that that's their babysitter's the iPad, and they realize that it's not good, but what am I supposed to do? And
yeah, we didn't have the option. We didn't have the choice. And now parents have to make that choice, which is a lot harder, right? They have to actually decide not to raise their kids like that. Whereas our parents, they had no choice. In order to get a break from us, they'd kick us out and say, go play on the freeway. My dad was a truck driver as well. Did you see yourself wanting to get into that field?
No, my dad, I rode along with him a few times, of course.
Did you?
And he would tell me how much I don't want to do that, and that
he would tell you no, don't.
He's like he didn't dishonor his profession or any of the other guys. He was just saying, son, nowadays we got technology, you got the college, you can get grants and stuff that he wasn't privileged to, and so he said, you don't want to be driving this truck. Look how much it sucks,
Yeah.
I agreed with him. I didn't want to do that, but I didn't want to do college. I wanted to play music. When I was 12, 13 years old, I made up my decision to my mind that I'm going to pick an instrument. I don't know what it is yet. I just wanted to do music. And I did art before that. So art was my passion. Drawing. Mm-hmm. I like painting. I like scratch boards was my favorite. It was so tedious. I just would dive into it. So my walls were filled with it.
That's pretty cool.
All my own art. And I did bad in school because I stopped paying attention to school and started paying attention to my art. And my mom, one day I came home, all the stuff was already picked up by the trash man. She took all my art. She left one thing, because I drew a lot of skulls and like I was into Black Sabbath and Gothic stuff. So there was some stuff that scared her. So she just threw them all away, but left this one little watercolor of a rat I did, a rainbow rat. I don't know what, it was the stupidest piece of art I had. But it wasn't Gothic and scary. So my mom let me have that one little piece. It was a hairless rat from a picture in National Geographic, and I drew it and then color penciled it in the different colors. It was lame, it was trash, but she let me have that.
Yeah.
And then when I was drawing again, my dad would come in there, because they had a talk. They were like, he needs to focus on school. And he came and said these words. "Oh, what are you doing, Nancy? You drawing it? Oh, you coloring in your little coloring book." Meanwhile, I'm doing a profile. I'm drawing some nice stuff. I was skilled.
Yeah.
Well, around that time, I'd found, at the same time, Nirvana, Metallica, and NWA, this rap group. And somebody made me a tape with all these songs on them, and I fell in love with all of it. And that was just enough of a spark to say, all right, well, they don't want me to do art. I still got to live here for a couple more years.
So how old were you?
Right at that time, I was in 9th, 10th grade.
Okay.
So I went and I got a guitar for $20 from my friend. Just saw it sticking behind his bed. And I said, "Is that a real guitar? Help, you know." So I went and somehow hustled $20. And I got my dad to buy, because I needed strings. So I had my dad, I asked him to take me. And he took me, and me and my dad didn't hang out a lot at all. And it was a nice little road trip going to the store and back and getting the strings. And he was encouraging. He was not encouraging for me to color in my coloring book, right?
Interesting.
But he loved the Beatles. He loved music.
Okay.
And he always wanted to sing, but he can't carry a tune in a bucket. Wasn't depressed, because when the art thing died, the music thing began. Mm-hmm. There was no day of like mourning.
Yeah.
A saying I heard is a man, a person, whatever. A person should cultivate 2 or more passions.
I fade away every day that passes by, tell another lie.
My whole life, I've been the least talented one in the band. And it made me decide, because I was learning Nirvana choruses, like 2 chords, and like struggling, while the other guy's playing Metallica solos. And I'm like, I'm just not going to do that, because everybody can do that. What can I add to this group of legendary guitar players? I'm serious. Like, so many great guitar players, they're my friends. Mm-hmm. And they'd already been doing it longer. Nobody wanted to be the rhythm guitar player. And I was like, I could be the rhythm guitar player.
Well, I think that also, made you a songwriter, because a lot of these solo guys, they don't really write songs. I don't know if you've noticed that in your experience. It's the rhythm guys that tend to be the ones that are writing the songs and putting the songs together. The guys that lean into the solo stuff, you'll ask them, do you have any songs? Like we do it when we're in bands. Do you have any songs? And they're always like, no, I don't have any. And you're like, surprised.
It's amazing.
It's the rhythm guys that tend to write the most sons. So that's kind of cool that you did that.
That became my passion.
So how long have you been with Sherry? Sherry is your girlfriend.
If I tell you, I'm going to be embarrassed, because you're going to ask why I didn't marry her.
I won't ask you any of that. I won't ask you any of that.
We've been together for a while, a long time.
Yeah, I'm not in the camp that feels like
I'm
people
not saying
have
you will.
to be
Everybody
married.
does, though. It's okay.
So how long, though? I want to know. How long?
2008.
Okay.
I met her.
So I don't know how good my math is. So that's what?
It's better than mine.
17 years. I did the math for you, unless you do know the number.
And
you're just not wanting to say it. Right now. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying why you married. What I will ask, though, is that's a good long time. So what would you say would be some of your keys to that longevity?
It's something we have to think about every day, isn't it? As men and women. Like, am I doing what I need to for this relationship, right? I think that's the secret. Is I know me and Sherry both, because we ask each other, like, well, she asked me a lot, do you still love me? And I'm like, yes, why do you want, do I make you happy? Those are very healthy questions, actually.
They are.
Because, and I think that's probably what it is we love each other. and if you love each other, you want what's best, and you have to just kind of question yourself sometimes. But for me, the freedom of knowing that you have the trust, right? The trust and the freedom and the trust, whatever it is. That's
freedom to what? Be yourself. Freedom in general, just time.
Have each other's passwords to your phones, right?
Yeah. Trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
There's
key.
freedom in that.
So trust is an interesting thing. How do you cultivate that?
Over time, right? Well, I mean, they say 4 seasons before you kind of know somebody. I say trust is earned and respect is automatic. That's my.
So you respect people right away until they lose
it. The beggar as you walk by them. You don't disrespect anybody, right?
Yeah.
You respect everybody. People can lose your respect, of course, right?
Yeah, but you give them the benefit of the doubt right away.
Trust is earned. Like as far as living your life, and when you meet somebody new, a stranger, it's not respect is earned. It's respect is automatically. Okay, hey, how are you, stranger? But so back to Sherry. Sherry is funny, and she thinks I'm funny, and that's a very important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that as well.
She's got everything. She's got everything. Out of bed. Don't want to use the back door anymore.
What is your why? What makes you want to get up every day and contribute to society, contribute to your life, contribute to Sherry's life? And do you think about that at all? Or is it just something you just get up and do your thing?
It's something I ask myself every time the alarm goes off, to be honest with you.
Great. Yeah.
And I never have the answer until I have my coffee.
And what's the answer?
And I wait till I get to work to drink my coffee, by the way. That's another secret. The way I keep my life together is I don't make coffee at home except it's the weekend. That's my little treat. That's my carrot to get to freaking work,
Yeah.
At that time, my emails will tell me why I'm living my life. That'll tell me what I got to do that day, right? And it's just an automatic thing, really.
Do you ever think about purpose? What you think your purpose is here on this planet?
No.
No? Okay. And that's okay if you don't. Not everybody does. I was always driven by
questions come up in my head. I've asked myself, and I just get bored with trying to figure it out. Like I go to have children. I guess is that really? And then I'm like, it's so base. It's so I'm an artist. I want to just be lying to myself constantly or telling stories. I don't know. I just never thought about that a purpose, except in the context of your job, and that's a big thing around the world, right? Like your job is your life. My purpose is to make sure I treat everybody fairly around me in my job and make myself useful and not be a burden. That's my goals.
So what do you think about? I mean, I watch you. I when we play our gigs, we may not have the best set, but everybody loves us. We're getting great tips. They're coming up to you. They're telling you how great you are. And a lot of the times we struggled through that song, for example, right? And I'm always really surprised by that. But then I'm not surprised by it because when I hear you sing, you have so much passion in your voice. And like you said, none of us up there are the most talented musicians, but for whatever reason, we're conveying a strong, powerful emotion through the songs. I think that's a gift. That's a gift that you have. You have a voice. So when I look at someone like you, I think with that gift in your life, how do you not have purpose, right? I mean, how is that calling? How is that gift laid on you? Not something that was given to you by a higher power, that said this is how you should be sharing. You should be sharing this gift.
So I accidentally lied to you earlier. I did think about what my purpose was when I was younger.
Okay.
When I wanted to be a rock star.
Okay.
Okay.
Or even an artist.
At that
back
point,
then too.
Yeah. When I was
drawing.
an artist, when I was doing the drawing, purpose. Yeah, the purpose was the art. Me doing that was my purpose. Like.
So
I had to keep doing it.
Well, and probably in those moments you lost track of time. I mean, you were.
Yeah.
There's
I was able to express myself.
Yeah.
I loved that. Same with music.
Yeah.
Probably better for me. You can express fully. You know, you don't have a piece of paper. You have the moment, the everlasting moment in front of somebody. Yeah. When I made the switch to music and I started writing songs, the angel and the devil appeared on my shoulder.
Let's get into that. What does that mean?
The devil.
So you had the angel saying, "Keep doing this," and the devil saying what?
No. It was how to do it was the argument.
Oh,
what to do with this power, which is have the potential to have millions of people hear my words, what I wrote down in a song, right? The devil was saying, if you want to do this and be successful, talk about the dirty stuff, talk about the bad stuff, the nasty stuff, right? And I wrote a song. I listened to the devil and I wrote a song. And the angel came up with their turn after the song was written, and I let somebody hear it who was like,
"Good friend,
that's hot," and it was nasty. It was more rappy, you know, because I
it's
found
what you're
rap and rock at the
influenced
same
by.
time.
It's what you're influenced by, yeah.
And I had a little beat maker and a little recorder, dude. I made the song, and I let my friend hear it, and he was all on board. Like, let's get the next one. Let's go. This is something I would listen to, and I respected his musical taste when it came to rap. Like the next day, I get up in the morning, I have this feeling in my stomach like I did something wrong, and this song's playing in my head, of course, because I just wrote it. And the angel said, or you can do it for God.
Wow.
Or you can do it for positive. And the angel said, it's going to be hard. This is easy. But do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this to be who you are? Is this who you are?
That's a clear conversation you were having with God. Do you think that?
Oh, yeah. I believe in God. Oh, yeah, 100%. Dude, I had a little moral discussion with myself, and I deleted the song. Like, which was a big deal. I had to program all the drums, like a little drum machine on there.
That's
I had to
pretty
record the
powerful.
bass line. I had to record, and I just deleted it. And there was no recovery with the little standalone recorders. I deleted it, didn't cry about it. It was like a little bit of a, maybe I could have made $1 million, but okay, who cares, right? I'll do something else. That angel was very convincing. Because I got 2 little sisters. I think is probably, some guys could have went the other way.
You thought about consequence.
Yes. I had 2 younger sisters that were getting into music, and I'm like, they're not listening to Christian music. I'm not listening to Christian music. They're listening to heavy metal and rap, which is where this would go, and then they're going to hear it. They're going to hear their brother saying this nasty crap about things. I deleted it. You know, that's all.
So I mean, this is a subject that I could talk about forever, and we won't talk about it forever. But I wonder why where along the lines, you know, that voice didn't get strong enough to say this is what you should be doing, like, full time. This is the gift that you should be sharing, you know, and why we have that competitive other voice, and maybe it's not the devil, but it's that practical voice, right? That says, oh no, you have to have a good job and take care of your family, and that. But then there's that other part of you that says, but wait a minute, I have this passion that when I'm doing this thing, time disappears. It's what I feel like I'm meant to do, but it's not a strong enough pull to pull you away from the responsible part of yourself. So did you ever have that duality where you battled that, or a pivotal moment where you chose
Yes.
the current path?
I know exactly what you're asking me. I was in a band pretty much, with few exceptions of a year or two, since I was 13. So around this time, I immediately got into a band. It wasn't playing guitar, I was playing drums. And then singing, which I was just screaming. And I almost threw my voice out, like ruined my voice because I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to scream death metal.
Yeah.
It was the worst. But I was always in a band, and there was always something that came up with the band where one guy or two or girl, you know, had to leave, and then you have to replace them, and then you can't replace them, of course, because that's an individual person that's gone for, you know, it's hard. the band would always end up fizzling out.
Something
it would fizzle out.
Yeah. I know.
And then one guy from that band plus this other guy from another fizzled band, we would get into a band, and it was fun. No regrets. I loved every bit of it. But it never. It would always break up before we could ever do anything.
But
there's always some drug or some freaking.
But what you found was it was unstable. So I can relate to the instability being in bands, and that drove me away from music for a time also, right? The hard part for me, though, this is what I find interesting about you, is you don't have the same issue that I have when it comes to music. I'm in a support role. I can't go and play the drums for people and have them sit there and be entertained, right? But you can write songs and play and share your music with people. So why not break away and do solo work? Why not just go, you know what? I've got enough talent.
Yeah.
I've got the voice. What kept you from doing that?
I am not as good by myself. I'm not as good. I think I can write funny songs, good songs. I can sing well, play guitar pretty good, rhythm guitar player, But something changes when you add just one more person. Just a guy on the congos.
No,
a
it's
guy
true.
on the cajon. It's automatically doubled in value to me. And the enjoyment I get out of it. That's another thing. I got a job, right? Yeah, sure, we should get paid for what we do in the band, but it's not my focus. My focus is it is a break from the grind. I've been in bands recently, or different, members that wanted to not only make a lot of money fast, but sacrifice playing the songs we want to play, playing songs that not only I don't want to play, but I'm going to hate playing.
Yes.
As an artist,
Understood.
I don't like that style, for example. Not even shitting on anybody, just that's not my style. I can't, I'll be phoning it in. And so I didn't want to take it as a complete business. Let's go to the Disney Channel, no beers on stage. No.
You want to enjoy
I
yourself.
want to enjoy myself a little bit.
Well, that's a good segue. So you work hard, you're a manager, sometimes you're working 6-7 days a week. Is that your break from the grind? Is music your break from the grind? And if it was your job, would it be less fun?
Maybe. I'd love to.
Would it take some of the joy out of it?
I would love to find out and answer that for you. You know what I mean?
Because it might.
Hell yeah.
It might. It might take the joy out of it.
I would do a side, if it did, I would take one of you guys and say, let's do a side band, a Primus, I'm playing bass.
Something different.
Just to freaking
break it up.
Well,
but I think that's interesting. It brings up the whole kind of philosophy around joy and happiness, because, you can use the example of a long-term relationship as an example. What is love? Love is something you cultivate, right? You have to cultivate it on a daily basis. So it's the same thing with the things that you do. You may be pulled to do something like play music for a living, but once you're doing it for a living, the joy is probably going to leave a little bit. There's going to be parts of it that are going to suck, that you're not going to like. The business aspects of it, the booking aspects of it. But because you love it, you're going to continually work on cultivating that joy for it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's just really, you have to put that cultivation into it. But as of now, it is a break from the grind for me to say anything else that you do. And what is it about music that is that break for you?
Sometimes if I'm too stressed out at work, I'll come home and I'll play one song and sing it. But it'll have to be a comfort song that I don't have to have the lyrics on standby just in case I forgot a verse.
Right.
And I just zone out. Or I just try to write a riff, and I'll spend 30 minutes of thinking nothing but what do I need to do with my hands here, and that's a break from the grind. Just to take your mind, it's not the same when you just throw on YouTube as you're driving to listen to just random things. That's a distraction. It's not a break to come home and turn on the TV and watch the housewives argue or whatever.
I agree with you.
Or sports even.
I agree.
Do it, but it's not a break.
No, it is not.
It's a distraction.
Because we're talking about rejuvenating, right? We're talking about restoration,
yes.
And that's what Mindy and I, we really truly believe that is, you need it, right? Everybody needs it. And sometimes though, some of these people we talk to, Their thing that they do for work is their break. What a joy that is, right? The last person we just talked to, Mike Johnson, he doesn't see it as a break. He loves doing it. It's his job, but he loves doing it. So that's awesome, right? I agree with you. Just pouring yourself into a distraction isn't necessarily rejuvenating you.
Yes, yes. And as I'm saying that, I'm realizing even too when I get the guitar and I'm not meditating. So I think that one thing I'm really bad about is, and I think we probably all are, is I remember reading a long time ago in a behavioral book from the 60s, and I think the science is still solid on this, is that the human needs 20, 30 minutes a day of nothing. No movie, no music, no driving. Now, here's the exception though. What I've noticed is I've been listening to music or a podcast or a video while I keep myself busy on the way to work. It's 20 minutes to work, right?
Yeah.
I'm realizing that it's been probably some years since I've gotten my 20 minutes in one day of nothing, just thinking, right?
Right.
Reflecting.
No distractions.
Whatever you can call it, prayer, meditation. And driving so automatic, I think that I'm getting a little benefit, but it's still you need to sit and just not move any muscle and just look at one spot, right? Just look at one spot on the wall and just breathe, right? And give yourself that reset. That is the true break. But as modern humans, how hard is that to do, man?
Oh,
how hard is it to actually meditate?
I totally agree with you. I don't even really like to drive with anything on. So I get it. You need that stuff that rejuvenates you. It's been a great conversation. I appreciate you having us here and sharing all your stories. I'm sure there's much more we can talk about.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for being on the channel with us, man. We appreciate it.
She never lets me down when I've had a rough day. She never wears a frown unless she knows I'm in pain.
Growing up on the rough streets of Atlanta, Jason developed a resilience that became an outer layer of his character. Yet beneath that toughness lies a sensitive and perceptive artist grounded by a pragmatic view of the world.
She's got it.
He grasps the concept of purpose, but never elevates it above the fundamental principle of being a good person and an unwavering respect-first mentality.
Out of bed. Don't want to use the back door anymore.
He possesses a powerful vocal ability that deeply resonates with people, but in my opinion, contentment is Jason's true stroke of brilliance. I would like to thank Jason and his girlfriend Sherry for their hospitality and for allowing us to come into their beautiful home. Until next time, thank you for watching.
As I tell her goodbye, Annabelle. She's got it.